All right, running and obstacle injuries. I'll start with obstacle course injuries. Oftentimes, a lot of those are traumatic. So you're reaching up for something, you hurt your shoulder, you're swinging from something, you hurt your shoulder, you land incorrectly, you fall and you hurt your back. I've seen a lot of problems happen from that, even from the training. If you're running on trails, you sprain ankles. There's all kinds of problems that can happen with running if it's a contact injury. There's no good way to actually prevent those traumatic things that happen if it's a contact injury, but there are some things that you can do in your training to kind of make sure that you are staying healthy. So one, you want to wear appropriate shoes when you run on the trail. Something with a hard rubber that gives you some traction, but not too hard. Like a hard plastic is not good, because if you hit something kind of hard, you end up slipping and you have no traction. So oftentimes on these obstacle course races, you have like wooden things that you have to climb across. Well, if your shoes have like a hard plastic on the bottom, you're just going to kind of slide right off of those. In these races and in your training, you're going to be asked to do a lot of pulling stuff. You're going to have to pull yourself up over a wall, climb over things with your arms that spin and everything like that. So you're going to need to have good strength of your lats. So what I often do is, if I'm trying to get ready for a race, I'll hang a pull-up bar in my door, and then every time I walk by that pull-up bar, I'll do 10 pull-ups or so. And if you can't even do one yet, start with one. Hop up on the bar, use your feet to hop up all the way on the bar, and then slowly let yourself down. Okay? So the stronger that we get your lat muscles to pull you up, the less chance of you slipping off and landing and hurting your back or your shoulder, the less chance of that happening. So just moving on to straight running injuries, one of the most important things you can do is get good strength out of your hips. So if your hips aren't strong, it kind of causes this knee to kind of wobble around a little bit, and usually it kind of collapses inward. So if your hip muscles are weak, what happens is when you squat down, and if your knee collapses inward like this, there's a good chance that your hips are weak. It can be a neuromuscular control issue, but likely your hips are weak. And that causes a lot of altered stress at your knee, not just behind your kneecap or your patella, but also on your, like, the joint between the tibia and your femur as well. You can get a lot of twisting that happens as well, and that can eat up your meniscus as well. So we definitely want to make sure that your hips are strong, your core is strong. Another thing, when you're running, if you're taking too large of a stride, that's going to send more stresses up the chain, up your body, up your knees, up your hips, and it's going to cause all kinds of other problems. So what I mean is that when you're running, and if we were to watch you in slow motion on a treadmill, and if you were to kind of strike out here, no matter if it's with your heel, your toe, or your forefoot, and if you're striking out here, if we draw a line where you land, and we draw a line straight up, we want that line to be under your pelvis here. And so longer strides, so less strides per minute, so a slower cadence is going to place more stress on your body. So ultimately, we kind of want your leg to land as close under your body as possible. Okay? And there's ways that you can do that. You can listen to music with a specific kind of, with the beats per minute that you're looking for, which can help you kind of speed up your stride. Initially, it's going to play a mental game on you because you're moving quicker and you feel like you're wasting more energy, but it's actually easier on your body. There's less stress that goes through the joints and the muscles. You're actually saving energy by moving your feet a little quicker, and you should actually feel better when you run, less stress on your joints at the end of your run. Another thing, if we can watch you on slow motion analysis, we can see how high your pelvis is going up and down. That can tell us how much force is going through your body. We can look and see if you're crossing the midline when you're running. So all these things can be addressed with running. Just a couple simple cues on how you can adjust your running form to reduce the stress on your body, and help you run faster and stay healthier for a lot longer.